And welcome back to Head Exam Learning Resources. In this session, we will be covering the SAS based options, errors, and references. So, and these are the all detailed topic which we will be covering in this session. So, I might have to divide this session in multiple parts to make it shorter and more attractive. So let's start with this without wasting any time. So there's a few notes I also have mentioned in this PDF, so whenever you want to refer it, you can refer this PDF. Even hands-on exercises I will be providing with this PDF only. Okay, so let's first talk about the references third-party data. So there are various ways by which third-party data are created, correct? One is the Microsoft Excel, okay, utility. There is a Oracle database is there. Then you would have SPSS analytics tools from IBM and kind of thing. So there are various utilities, correct? BMDP or OSR, Iris, etc. So SAS is capable of reading this kind of data. This is third party data. Okay, so how would the SAS can read this data? So this engine is are only available in read only mode. If you want to directly like thought I would modify the data SPSS file, so it is not possible because SAS only provides read only engine for this. So what is this engine is, you can say this is the SPSS is the one engine. So which statement you would be using? Libname statement is just like referring the library which we are using the libname, correct? So similarly libname is also we will be using for the referencing. Okay, and there is a library name if we want to create using this. So HESPSSS, I have given the name of the library. This value you can give anything, correct? And this is the path of the file where your path is stored. If you are working on Windows operating system and this is in the C drive, the file name is exam.spss, so you can directly refer this files, and that could be referred inside this as a in a HESPSS library. Okay, so let's move to the next about this. So this is how you would refer the third party library. We will do the some hands-on session using the Microsoft Excel, like how to refer the data which is generated by the Excel access system. Okay, base certification needs this kind of knowledge only. Okay, so let's start with the another procedure which we have discussed. Like SAS has only two step. One is a data step, another is a PROC step, correct? So in the PROC step we could have various procedures available in the SAS. The SAS is the main beauty of the SAS is only like they provide for complex things the various procedures. So and this you just refer that procedure and SAS will do the work behind the scene for you. That is the main thing. Actually in other programming languages, like you might have to write lot of code to do those many things, and even the mathematical and statistics things can be done in SAS. Is no any else other software can do this thing. Okay, so not even closer to this actually, frankly speaking. Okay, so SAS is very beautiful in mathematical, statisticals, and this kind of work. Okay, so let's talk about the contents procedures. So it helps you to get to know about the contents of the library and descriptor information. As I told you, like every data, when SAS data you generate it, so SAS has a mainly two part actually. Initially if I would tell you like if this is your SAS data, suppose this part is represent your SAS data, correct? So this is first part SAS would store, and this is known as a descriptor part. This is a descriptor section. This is your actual content of your SAS file, and there is one more part of this actually, that is which we might not need it for this certification purpose, but SAS also stored indexing, and this is not for every file. Okay, it's like faster retrieval of data. If you want, if you know the book, correct, if you refer the book, okay, so there is always book start with the indexes, correct? So on which page you would find which chapter, correct, or which content on which page number, etc. The index you find it at the start or at the end of the book, correct, on which page what detail is there. So similarly in the SAS or any other like RDBMS, if you database management also, you know, the indexes are created to the faster retrieval of the data. So there are index part also is there. So one SAS file would have these three things: descriptor, actual content, and indexes. One more thing is there, like user defined data is there. If you define anything extended attributes, metadata or something for this file, so suppose this is the file name of your data is a is sample something. This is your data set you have created in the SAS, correct? So this is each data set which you have created has three parts. One is a descriptor section, another is the actual content, the whatever data you have, like name, age, whatever, this is the content, correct? And this is what exactly in the descriptor section I will tell you, okay? And user defined data, it may or may not have this indexes, it may or may not have, correct? So this is what you, so using the contents procedure, okay, we can find it out like what all exactly is in this particular file, okay? And there's content procedure also you can apply to the library, okay? Like as I mentioned, library is a collection of data set, correct? So if I go here, okay, let's go here. So this is the library. Here you can see this is the library, correct? So the library is a collection, correct? The work is a library, says help is a library, correct? And says user library, and he train we will be creating the library, correct? So you want to describe any library, correct? So how would you describe it? So like what all contents is there in my library, correct? Either you can browse it or programmatic way if you want to describe it. So let's create the first the library which we have like stored where our SAS program we have stored. Just a minute, okay, give me a moment. So this is our program actually which we have stored as a Hadoop exam underscore base.sas, correct? So we will be creating the library which represent the entire content in this Hadoop exam folder, correct? So if you go in the Hadoop exam folder, there are a lot of files already there, correct? So I would be creating the library which the name of the library he train, okay? He represent Hadoop exam actually, okay? So this is the library which we have created, correct? So now he then represent entire content on this. So if I go here in the library, if I refresh it, you can see there is a he train is created, and this is the 4 SAS data sets are available. So using the contents procedure you can describe this entire library, okay? So this is how you would be describing. So you would be using PROC contents. This is the syntax for using any procedure, correct? So this is the PROC, it is a mandatory keyword from SAS. This is the name of the procedure that should keep varying, like frequency, contents, print, etc. So this is on what you want to apply on this data. So what is the data here? Here entire library I want to use it, okay? To I want to describe it. What are the nodes? I will tell you in just few minutes, so just wait. So let's copy this and run this code. Okay, let me open the new window to run my program. So what I would use the key here, F4 is the key shortcut, correct? So if I wanted to, and if I want to run this program, so how would you do this? F3 is a command, correct? So this program would be executed. Now here you can see what exactly I have done here. When I run this program, what it says, like there is a library he train, give me details about all the data set in this library. So how many data sets are there in this library? 4 data set, correct? Course 2017 courses, course Hadoop, and sorted courses, correct? So this is 4 library. So if I see the results here, you can see it provides me the detail about all this 4 libraries. So this is the course 2017 is a library, it is a data which it is there, this is also data, this is also data. So all the 4 data sets are data in this file. What is the size of each data set? Is 128 KB, okay, for each one. And when it was last modified, when we 23rd January we have modified this file, okay? So you can see their timing and etc, okay? And the entire library, okay? So this is the library reference, how it is referred by this is lib reference. You can see here he train, which engine would be used here, v9. So by default you would be using what is the physical location. So if you go here, folders, my folder and Hadoop exam, it is the location here. Let me little bit zoom it, so it would be okay, so now it's visible. Okay, so here you can see this is the folder location and this is the file name, okay? So here file name and folder location would be the same, correct? Or how would you find it? Like, because we are using the SAS University edition, as I told you previously, SAS University edition uses the Linux underline because we are creating the virtual machine. So that's the reason you won't see any Windows kind of path, C colon or something. This is a Unix path, okay? So people who knows the Unix, you better understand this. So if I go here, if I click here here in the library, and if I click in the folders and see the properties here, so here you can see the properties, the location of this, correct? So similarly what it says, this library is represented by HE train, engine is V9, this is the physical location, what is the inode number, leave it, this is Unix related, okay? Access permission, who can read, write and etc. So don't worry right now about this is again Unix related. Who is the owner of this file? Root user. If you know the Unix background again, so if you from computer science, then you would understand what exactly this means. Otherwise leave it right now, you can change it, like any user can change it, like who can access this file and kind of thing, this permission. What is the file size? Entire is a 4 KB. About which file it is talking about, I think it's only library he's talking about, seems to me is file size 4096, okay? Because each individual file is 128 KB, so I don't know what exactly this means, okay? Right now, okay, so let's leave it. So this is the detail about it. Now let's remove the nodes here from here, okay? This nodes key, and you will get to know what exactly the uh, de detail you would be getting here. So if you see, if you remove the node, it will again describe the individual data set. Okay, so this is, you can see here, course 2017, this is the entire library references and detail about this library. Now individually each file would be like detail would be given, like this is the data set name, one, how many observations are there, one, what is the data, member type, it's a data, variables are 0, engine is V9, indexes are 0, observation length is 0, deleted observation 0, compressed no, sorted no. So this kind of individual data set detail is, you can see data set page size, what is the page size and all this thing we will learn later on, okay? So number of data set pages, one, etc. So for each individual data set, so similarly contents for another courses data set, correct? There are 10 observation. The next is a you can see here the content procedures is talking about the course Hadoop. This is the, there is also 10 observation, there is so this is the sorted, again 10 observation. So each individual would be given in detail when you don't use the notes. So same information only when you are using all, to avoid printing detailed informations, correct? PROC dataset, now we are talking about the dataset, another procedure which is very similar for the content procedure, okay? You can use PROC dataset as well as the view the contents of the SAS library or SAS datasets, correct? So as we have used contents, so similarly you can use the datasets procedure, okay? So this PROC dataset here, and contains data HE train all nodes. So here inside that you would be using statement of contents here, correct? So PROC is a state data set now, and you want to do this read this. So let's use this this procedure, okay? Let me copy and paste again over here, remove this. Okay, so if you run this, you can see here, so this is little bit different way it is showing, correct? So this is like more detailed information, physical path and everything about this would be given. So this is little bit different information, but it would give you more detail even it see. But the dataset procedures, the output, and this is because we have used nodes here, correct? If I remove the nodes, then you can get the detailed information, I believe, about the. So this is content statement. Previously we have used contents procedures, correct? So this is inside the dataset we have using the contents statement. Now you can see here the detailed information about all this, okay? So it is not removing, okay? So even it is showing, even I don't use the notes, but it is showing. So that is what I see the difference over here, okay? Says dataset procedures all, correct? So here you can see the detail about each file. If I use nodes, then let me check again. Nodes option is available, okay? And if I do here, so okay, so it won't give the detail, correct? So that is what we were talking about. So similarly you can, you see we have seen use the PROC statement previously using the nodes, correct? Now variable number option, if you use the var number option, then we'll see the variable in the creation order and not in the alphabetical order. If you see right now, let me remove the node here, correct? I think the variable name which is in the data set would be presented in a alphabetical order. Even it is not showing the variable name where it is showing here, correct? So here you can see course date, fee1, fee2 and id. So this is alphabetical order, which is not we have defined it, correct? In our data set we have defined in the different order. So what we have to use this, we VARNUM is the options in the data set procedure, we can use it. So it will present the our data about in a particular order in which we have defined, correct? So I'll not talk about the entire library right now. I'll talk only about the let me format the code, only the courses library. Okay, so and see here the what details we are getting here. So this is the individual data files, this is courses is the data file. Now you can see the order in which we have defined data is id, date, course, fee1, fee2. So this is not more alphabetical order, the way we have defined this data, in this order we are getting it. So that is what the importance of the VARNUM, correct? So if you, and whenever you are working with and whatever the order you have defined it, you want our data output in the same order in which you want like in define, so you can use the VARNUM, because that is sometimes required, because you don't know how you have defined your data and kind of thing, so you can get it. So it's a more of the when you do the complex programming, then it is would be useful. Okay, so now let's move ahead here with the again same variable you can use the with contents procedure as well, correct? Now output format, by default the format is a HTML only, so you can see whatever the formats are generated are HTML format. Result window, you can modify the output format of the result window and checking the application options. Okay, it depends, actually this is the university edition we are using it, so a lot of things would be not be applicable to us. So here application preferences, okay, general, you can see here this is what we can see here. What is that he mentioning? Okay, results, if I select results, so what we are saying, PDF output should be generated, RTF file should be generated, HTML blue would be generated. Let me change the theme here. Okay, let me see some not blue, Gantt themes. Let's save it, remove the PDF or okay, let's don't generate it PDF. Okay, so now you have to save it. So we have made two changes, let's see what happens. Okay, so now let's run the program. Okay, here it has not shown, where is the program? Okay, so we have run this program already. Let me copy it here, run it. Now see the output here, you can see this is the format has changed, correct? We have used Gantt, so you can see previously light blue was there, it's now the row was in blue color, now this is in a gray color. So that is what it has changed. And what we have changed second is don't generate the PDF. If you click here, it won't be able to generate the PDF, correct? That is what we have done, but we can generate the RTF file, HTML file. So this is the look folder where you can just download. So let me change it here, go to preferences, go to result and say generate the PDF file. Okay, and save it and change the theme something else again. Let's say journal 3. I don't know what this type of theme is exactly. Now that run it again this program and see what it generated. Okay, so there is no error. Okay, so there is a result here. Okay, this is something similar I can see here. Okay, so no big change. I'm not sure, it's just some warning. Oh, it is showing warning, assume the symbol VARNUM was misspelled at VARNUM. Okay, something wrong we have. How come we have removed? It has to be VARNUM, correct? That's the reason we are not getting. Okay, so now here you can see this is the theme which we have changed. Now this is completely different format, you can see here, but here you can see you can download as a PDF. You click here, open it here, you can see this is the PDF has been generated, correct? That is what I wanted to show you. Previously it was not generating the PDF, correct? And similarly theme has changed. So let's go back and click here preferences, and there is a reset to default, everything would be default. So whatever it was originally, it will be, then save it. Okay, so that is what we wanted to do this. Now let's move to the next is what exactly we are talking about. VARNUM is done. Now let's talk about the output format, which we have already seen the Windows format. So similarly, this kind of output format you can change the enterprise guide version, a window version of the SAS or etc. In everything you could change this kind of formatting. Okay, so this is the options available. So when you start working on this SAS, actually you will work as per your comfort and you will generate the output. Okay. Now let's talk about the system option. It affects the entire SAS program processing. So there are various system options available. So let me give you one of the example is a year cutoff. Correct. This is the year cutoff. Let me give you. I would say my year is my date is let's say. Let me type here right here. 1st January and 19. If I write like this, what do you interpret? In right now, nowadays people say it could be 1st January 2019. I'm talking about in future, but I would say my data is historical and it could be 1 January 1919 I am talking about. So how would SAS interpret, like it is a 1999 you are talking about 19, or you are talking about 2019? How would SAS interpret? So there is a one system option is available which is known as year cutoff. Okay, so this is year cutoff is a option. Okay, so you would be defining this value and based on this value would be calculated. Let's say by default year cutoff value is a 1926. Okay, what does that means is if you have defined year cutoff as 1926, so it's up to 100-year span. Okay, so 2025 it would consider this date. Okay, so if you have, it always talk about the next 100 years values. Okay, so includes is 26, that's the reason up to 2025. Correct. So suppose any value below 26 if you provide, okay, let's say you provide 25, so SAS will interpret as a 2025. Okay, if you provide 22, so SAS is interpret as a 2022. Any value above 26 if you provide it, okay, so let's say 47, so SAS would consider as a 1947. Getting my point here? So value greater than 26 if you provide it, SAS would interpret as a in a 1900 year. If less than value is there of this cutoff, okay, this 2 digit, less than of this 2 digit, then 2000 years would be considered by this. Okay, so this is the example here. You can see 41 if you provide 1926. 1926 is the default value by the SAS even. Okay, so 1941 if you provide 15, then it would be below 26, so it would be interpreted as a 2015. If you provide 30, so this would become 1930 because it is a bigger than greater than 26. Correct. And similarly 95, it is a greater than 26, so it is 1995. Correct. So you can override this value. So this is known as a system options. Once you set it, until and unless you revert it, it would not be changed. So it's a system level changes. Correct. So if you want to change it or something, you want to, and you have to define it again. So this option does not affect the 4-digit years, but suppose I would say my year is 2025. So would this option do anything? Obviously not. Correct. So you are already providing to 4-digit year. Why SAS would have to interpret it in something else? Correct. So that's they would never be affected. So this is about the talking about the year cutoff. So this is the system option. We will define it. We will do the hands-on you for this. Okay. So just a minute. Okay, so before moving, I would tell you, like, I would be stopping for this session because it's already more than 20 minutes, so I don't want to like make it bore for you. So let me stop, and meanwhile I would tell you, please visit hadoopexam.com. This is our site. Okay, if you are watching this video on YouTube and you don't know who has published kind of thing, so just visit the hadoopexam.com, where we provide the various trainings. So this is training is similar kind of format training and detailed whatever. So we are keep adding new trainings actually, and we will be providing the PDF as much as possible wherever it is possible, and hands-on session is our main focus as well as concepts. Okay, so that is equally important. So and this is plus we are also providing certification preparation material. So I would focus more on the SAS related certification here. So these are the 5 certification material we are providing here. 490 SAS based certification questions, 365 SAS advanced certification questions. So many thousands of people have already used actually our material, and they have cleared the SAS certification. Even you can visit the testimonial page on this website and you can see how the people responses. We just copy paste from their email whatever they write it on our testimonial page. We don't modify at all. Okay, so you can check it how good response we are getting on this. Okay, and soon we are updating the SAS certificate based SAS certification as well, and we would be replacing the old questions, like 190 old question would be replaced over here and new question would be added based on the latest SAS version 9.4 or something, correct? So we would be updating. So thanks for watching, and I hope you like this session. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe it, and don't forget to mention your friends about the howtoexam.com. Your support is necessary for us to grow and to help you more. Thanks for watching.